I should have been angry. I wasn't. Anger is noisy. I needed silence to do what I was about to do. 3 years earlier. We were still a family, at least that's what I thought. I was the one with a steady job, paying my own bills, sending little gifts home. My sister? No job, no plans, just a charming smile and a boyfriend who seemed allergic to work. I met him once. He shook my hand like he was doing me a favor. He talked about big business ideas without a single concrete fact. My parents laughed like he was a genius. The first cut came quietly. My calls went unanswered. My mother forgot to tell me about family dinners. Then the financial freeze. No more offers of help, no more small family investments in my projects. Instead, every extra dollar went to help him get started. When my dad called one night, it wasn't to check in. It was to say I was too critical of my sister's choices. The next week, I found out they'd co-signed a loan for him. The discovery. 6 months ago, a friend from my industry called me. He'd been approached by a young entrepreneur with a pitch that reeked of desperation. The name? My sister's boyfriend. The product? A carbon copy of one of my old proposals, something I'd shelved years ago because it wasn't ready. He was trying to sell my idea to investors, including one of my company's subsidiaries. The only thing he didn't know? I'd moved up since then, way up. The shift. I didn't confront him. I didn't warn my parents. Instead, I made a call. Not as the daughter they dismissed, but as the executive whose signature moved millions. It took 2 weeks to set it up, buying a controlling interest in the startup shell he'd created, quietly and through proxies. Another week to schedule the investor introduction over Zoom. I asked my assistant to keep my name off every document until the moment I chose. The night of the party. I wasn't there in person. I didn't need to be. The champagne, the music, the clinking glasses, they wouldn't drown me out when the time came. My sister and her boyfriend stood center stage in my parents' living room, smiling for the crowd. My dad raised a glass. We're so proud to introduce the mystery investor who believes in our son-in-law-to-be. The big TV lit up with the Zoom call. My camera was off at first. I let the silence stretch. Then I clicked it on. Faces froze. My father's hand lowered. My sister's smile cracked. The boyfriend blinked like he'd seen a ghost. "Hello," I said, calm as a blade. "Shall we get started?" The confrontation. My father tried to recover. "We didn't know it was you." "Of course you didn't," I cut in. "You never asked." I turned my attention to the boyfriend. "Congratulations on securing investment. I own 72% of your company. That means I own your product, your patents, and your future. As of this moment, you work for me." He stammered something about partnership. I smiled. "No. Employment. And here's your first task. Hand over every file you've stolen." My sister's voice cracked. "You can't do this." I looked straight into the camera. I already have. The fallout. There was no shouting, no thrown drinks, just silence, thick and heavy, as reality set in. My father stared at the floor. My mother's lips were pressed so tight they turned white. The boyfriend knew better than to argue further. His contract had already been rewritten by my legal team. He was bound. I logged off without saying goodbye. Aftermath. The next morning, my phone was full of messages. Apologies, justifications, promises that things will be different. They weren't, and I didn't care. They'd cut me off to praise a man who contributed nothing. They'd told me I didn't belong. But in the end, they toasted the man whose boss was me. Some revenge is loud and messy. Mine was quiet, clean, surgical. And the best part? They'll never forget the moment my face appeared on that screen and my father had to say, "Hello, boss."